Hello pets, welcome back. Today we're doing a little bit of a dive into the starting of Ixion to help you understand a good way to start your ship. A lot of people have been doing this lately, and I've seen a lot of people do the beginning really badly. So they end up having to have like bad starts or completely redesign their ships. You can do that, but it does waste time. It doesn't waste resources, it does waste time. It can waste resources because every time you have to redesign your ship and relay it out, you're there longer and you spend repair cost. Now it's not a lot. You can amass immense amounts of iron and immense amounts of alloy, but if you have to spend that constantly to repair the ship because you're redesigning it all the time, you lose efficiency. And I know a lot of people want to get through the tutorial as fast as possible, and I'll show you a couple easy tricks to get through it. You don't need any of this for this one here. I use pause a lot when I'm doing layouts. It allows me to circumvent a lot of issues that you would normally have when you're not paused. So let's do that. Now you have to place these two buildings, workshop and maintenance center in the first small stockpile. You have to place these. That's not a big deal. Most people do not think about where they put those. However, if you are a little smart and you understand the layout of the ship, you don't need this over here. What you can do is you can put that right there, that right next to it. And by doing this, you now have everything tiled up. You just have to switch this one over to food or to alloy, and then you also need to do one more. Now this one's gonna probably get reused for something else later. Don't worry about it. But you need this one for food. You need two more of these. One here. Alloy. Take care of that problem. I tend to put my living quarters down in this area. So this one, those always go quickly as far as I'm concerned. And then population. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You need enough for 200 people, so I put 15 in. That gives you more than adequate resources. Large buildings, so like my probe launcher and my EV ports, I either put them up here on the top or down here on the bottom, depending on how I'm laying it up today. In this case, I'm probably going to use the top wall. Actually, let's do the bottom wall today. That makes it a lot easier. And I need to get this one out of the way. We need to build a few things. Always do this. We need to build one cargo ship and one side ship. You need to do the mining vessel, but you don't need to do it right away. It's a very minimalist design. EVA airlock is done. So we want to put the airlock. I'm just gonna put it right here. I'm gonna put the airlock right here. I should be able to put the probe launcher right next to it if I do that. It's fine. It's actually not that big. Put the housing in. like so. That takes care of the housing. And you need 4 insect farms. 4 of them. That's your minimum that you need to survive, is 4 insect farms. That should take care of that. I always accept this one. You get like 20 extra crew members by doing this. I always accept it. That gets you to your 200 crew members, and you want as many people as you can in this game. Now, if you go to the outside of the ship, which is this one, we can install solar panels. I have watched so many streamers screw this up. You have this one here. It costs you 10 polymers, and it gets 40 power. There are 2 solar panel sets to do both of these. You really want to do this second one too, but don't worry about that. You want to do this. So that's what you want to do. First one here, you want to do the first one here, and you want to do just queue it up. You're gonna need it. Do them in that order. So the task list, do the 2 solar panels first, and then the village. We do want to build. And I'm going to show this off because it's up to you whether or not you do this. And see, everything fits over here nice and neat. You can't build the front of the sign, so a lot of times what I'll do is I'll put these big buildings down here on this wall. So you can get like 4 or 5 of them across. Now this is built. So you can come out here and you'll see your science ship. You will see the moon. You have to do the moon. You'll see Mars. This one's optional. And you'll see one right here on Saturn. The moon you have to do, and I'll show you that in a minute. We'll also look at the Mars and Saturn ones. Saturn's easy. Mars is interesting. When you're on the moon, you have 2 options. You can avoid the vulnerability for security, or you can dismantle the moon base. You want to do the vulnerability first, and then dismantle the moon base, because it allows you to do both. If you don't do both, then you're losing out on the extra research from the vulnerability. It's not a lot. It's only 10 research, but it's 10 research you wouldn't have had. So keep that in mind. So I mentioned before that we can have certain things. And now that we have research, I can show you. Something a lot of people miss on this is they don't realize that you can have 2 researchers going on. First thing you have to have is the EV airlock. You have to do this one. That's required by the story. Second thing you need to do is you need the insect. The last one's the probe launcher. Now, do you need the probe launcher in this early phase of the game? Not in the prologue, but you do need it in the chapter 1. And you cannot move on to the next ring here, this next one right here, until you've completed all 3 of these. So be aware of that. Perfectly acceptable. And then let it go. Check out Mars. So on Mars, we have these 2 different ones. These 2 are interesting. This one's going to cost you 20 alloy, but you're going to get 20 polymer. I don't do this one. This isn't really worth it. It could be worth it if the one below it wasn't better. This one is 10 alloy and 10 polymer, but you get 10 research, and research is much better than anything you can get from resources. Why? Resources you get all the time. So you will get all the iron and polymer, iron and carbon and polymer, and for the polymers and alloys and everything like that, you're going to get a ton of it. You're going to be able to mine asteroids later on, so you're going to get a bunch of those resources. Nice. Research, though, is fixed. There's only a finite amount of research in your whole gameplay, so be aware of that. So to do the ones like this, you have to pick a ship. Doesn't matter which one. Just pick one. Now we're done with this tier here. So you can see the next tier is open. What do we need out of this tier? You need 2 resources first. First one here is the steel. Always fishes this first, because without this, you're going to fail epically later. So get that now. The polymer. This is the second most important one. Put this on delay. So now you have these 2 queued up. Are you going to get to them? No, we're not going to get to those until we get into chapter 1. But if you queue it up now, then you get to go for chapter 1. The battery you have a quest for, so you'll want to research that and build batteries. Usually 2, maybe 3 in each sector. I don't do that right away because it's not a time required quest, so that's not a big deal. And the electronics factory, that also can wait, so don't worry about that right away. On this side here, you have the cryonics center. You need this early on so that you can bring frozen crew members back. And you need the alternative life center, and this one here is rail to fallen crew members. These 2, honestly, you need to research them in order to go to the outside ring, but you don't need to worry about them actually in your facilities until you're into chapter 2. And you're actually starting to get into this next ring. This one here is something you do in chapter 1, it's destroy elements, don't worry about that. Because you have to do that later. It's already pick the foods, you have to pick the people next. And then here on Saturn, you have 2 options. You can send a team to investigate, or you can attempt to locate the raid orbit. Do not do the second one, you get nothing from this. It's a waste of time. Just send the team to investigate. Alright, so we have 1 probe done. Probing, I've seen a lot of people go to the probe screen. Shut this off. Okay. Go to the probe screen and then not know how to work this map. They don't read. Right here it says launch probe. Click that, and you will be able to look around the system and look for probe points. In this case, there is 1. It's right over here. When it maxes out and it goes gray at the bottom, it means you're locked on to whatever it is you're trying to do. That's where our probe's going. Is the black market. And some people might think that this is a waste of a 3 polymer, and they might be right. You're about to get the answer. So we're going to do the Naomi protocol, which is basically against the rules. You're not supposed to do these things, but we're gonna send. So if we send them 30 iron, which you notice we only had 39, this is where it kind of gets, do you really want this? You can send it. I'm gonna send it for this video. So what do we get? We got 20 polymers and 2 chips for your 30 iron, or for your 30 metals. And put it in this version. So I hope those tips help. I'm going to shorten this video down to a reasonable time period, but I hope those tips help, and let me know if you want to know more tips that I've discovered in this game, and I'll see you next time.